Hi guys, happy Witchy Wednesday. So, how is everybody? Good? Good? Good. Alright, so yesterday somebody asked me what my beliefs on reincarnation were. So, I will elaborate for you guys. I do believe in reincarnation, 100%. I didn't ever used to. Never. I thought it was just a bunch of crap. I think that when we incarnate or disincarnate, when we are not beings anymore, humans, I personally think that we reincarnate. We go through a period of a previewing of our lives to focus on what we did wrong. We get to experience everything of what we actually did, and then we get to incarnate again, and so we just keep getting chance after chance after chance to better ourselves and to spiritually grow, and just everything that you need to work on within your life. So that's pretty much how I view reincarnation. I do not believe that we come back as animals. I don't believe we come back as trees. I think we come back as people. I really honestly think we come back as people. God. So for instance, like in my previous life, I would look for right now, if I were to like try to find out what my life was, my previous life, I would look around at everything that is within my life right now. My family, what things that I need to work on myself, what am I still battling, the negative things, also the positive things. So, whatever it is that I find, for instance, this life, I have fibromyalgia, so I don't know what there could have been a reason for me having fibromyalgia. There could be a reason for a lot of things. The cigarettes, the coffee, all of it. We have imprints, traces of our previous lives within us, because I do think we were these same people. We did not know it. We don't know who we were. Well, some of us do. I don't. Honestly, I really don't. But I like to look at, so for instance, in this life, my main focus for my entire life has been spirituality, spirit communications. So, taking me into a past life, I would think that I am finishing up work now that I did not finish up in a past life, within the context of spirituality, just everything. So, I don't know. I don't know if it's my last incarnation or not. I feel like it is, but then again I feel like it isn't. So if that makes any sense to anybody? Any sense? So yeah, and then people within our lives. So if you look for like reoccurring patterns within your life, negative ones, good ones, it doesn't matter. Just kind of, you can group that together and you can kind of figure out, well, maybe in a past life I didn't learn this lesson, so I need to incarnate again and learn to not have addictions like coffee or cigarettes. So it's really interesting. It's very interesting. I've been reading and I have been researching a lot about reincarnation, and it is so much. It would take a lifetime. It would take a lifetime to actually go in and just try to even figure it out. It's too complicated. Then, the really cool thing is the people that you are attracted to. Your interests, your beliefs, the people in your lives, your illnesses. personally honestly think that they all stem from a past life. So if you come into this past life with addictions, if you come into this life with certain addictions, certain things that are not too good for yourself, then I believe that we were given another chance to make up for that, to make up for what we did. So, see, it's very complicated. It's very complicated. My past life, I was burnt at the stake. I'm very not afraid of fire. I'm very afraid of water, sharks. So that could be an indication of something that had happened in my past life. So I do often think why I am put in a situation again within a family of drunkenness when I myself don't drink. I cannot drink. So it's something that I've needed to learn from my past life within this life. So everything kind of seeps out or over into just small things that you need to work on. So that's my view, complicated view. It's very difficult to really describe the reincarnation process. What my grandma has told me is that when you die, you don't go to heaven or hell, or heavenly dimensions or hell dimensions. You go into a almost like you still learn. So you're still learning. Like her, she did not incarnate again. She did not. It was her time. So what she did is she went to school. She was actually schooled on the other side to become a guide. So she ascended, and now she has ascended to a guide. I would consider her an archetypal energy. She is so well known throughout YouTube and throughout the people that I work with that she has become an archetypal energy for me. The embodiment of love, the embodiment of just, that grandmother's love and compassion and all the amazing things that all grandmas have. So they do go and they learn. So you leave your body. You can either stay if you are in that set mindset where you think you are not even dead, you don't even know it. So you could possibly, that's another good reason for hauntings. People think that they're haunted when they're not. So it could be all kinds of people that just don't know that they're dead, that they need to move on. So, we could all be dead right now, and we just don't know it. So just like the others, the movie, they were dead. They had no idea that they were dead. And then she had to re-examine her belief. I don't remember her name, but I know it was Nicole Kidman. So she had to reevaluate, everything. Everything that she thought within the Bible was wrong. And she was, they were coexisting together. So for instance, she thought that they were haunted. It was the living people. The living people thought they were haunted. It was the actual deceased people in the house. They had no clue that they were dead. So, that is my belief on earthbound spirits. They just don't know that they're dead. I don't think that they mean to cause harm, but if you were that bad of a person within your previous life, I do think that if you come to the realization that you are dead, and you have that kind of control, if you obsess somebody, which is a Spiritist term, obsess would be a nagging, a low vibrational energy that is oppressing or obsessing you, not possessing, obsessing, which means that you give them power to obsess you. You give them power over you. Not to the full point of possession, just to the point of they make that much of an influence or an impact in your life. So earthbound spirits I consider to be more like a prankster teenage kids. So, if that makes any sense. It's very complicated. It's a very complicated thing. I would really love to know who I was. If I look within my life. If you want to know who you were within a past life, what is a reoccurring theme? So for me, it is everything. The Ouija, spirituality, witchcraft, everything. Everything being brought up within the drunken chaos of every single day. So, that is my lesson in this life, I know. I have got to understand and I've got to find within myself how and why I was put back in a situation that, I don't care to be in, but I am in. I deal with it. So, for instance, again, a reoccurring pattern within my life, personal relationships, all of mine have been all of my exes all had drinking problems, alcohol problems, drinking alcohol, drug problems. I had drug problems a long time ago. So it's like I feel like I was placed here now to better myself spiritually, to to raise my vibration, to rise against the chaos, and bring peace and love and kindness and compassion to myself and to other people. I don't know what I was in a past life, but the book writing and the Ouija pop shock pop artist, I do feel a little bit of Lane Stanley. I've been told that a lot. Warhol, a little bit of Warhol. Cole Porter, if you guys do not know who Cole Porter is, look him up. He is from my area, about a half an hour away. I have his toilet seat. I love it. And his sink. So it's just, what are you guys interested in this life? What are your interests? Can you draw a parallel? The negative. What do you need to learn? What is the situation like me being placed in an alcohol environment with constant fighting and constant bickering and constant upheaval and constant fighting and constant drinking and constant the same thing. It's like a pattern every day. The same thing. It is good during the day, and then the end of the night it just goes all downhill. So I don't know why I've been placed in this situation again. I wish I did. It's my job to find out, to learn, to rise above all this. So it's so complicated. It really, really is. Now, as far as a family, I do firmly believe that. I don't believe that we pick our families. I don't believe that we can say, hey, I want, this family, or this mom, or this dad, or I want, to be born into this family. Because obviously we don't have any control over where we're, placed. God. There's a lot. I have a lot. This is really strange. My very first vision, you could say, my very, very, very first vision was so scary. I was young. I was very young. Probably about 9 years old. I had this weird, incredible, profound vision. I was on the Titanic. I knew it was the Titanic. I did not know why I was there, but I was dressed in that time period of peasant's clothing, and I was a female. And I think I was a servant or somebody that worked on the boat, because I was mopping the front of the boat, where in the movie The Titanic, where they're standing there and they're acting like they're flying, like they're retarded. Sorry if anybody likes that movie. I don't. I think it's ridiculous, because it makes me cry. So I hate it. I hate that movie. It makes me cry. And I don't like to cry. I hate crying. And I can't. Thank God for Prestige. Yeah. So that was my first vision. It was very scary, very real. I had woke my mom up and my dad, and I told them, I said, I just had this vision of me being on the Titanic. And I gave such specific information that it was very crazy and very creepy to them. So I actually got put in counseling after that, because they thought it had to do with what I was involved in, the Ouija, and all of this. But it wasn't. The counselor actually told me that, she believed in reincarnation, and she actually told me that she believed me. So it was very strange, and especially being in 19. I don't even want to go with the date, because then that just ages me even more. But I firmly believe in reincarnation. One day, like last year, or the beginning of this year, I think it just, with the book and with my grandma and with everybody that I have, communicated with, like the dead wise, and then angels, and then, sentient beings, ethereal beings, interdimensional beings, we have got to have some kind of, purpose. That's the purpose. We are giving, source, God, spirit, whatever you want to call it, is giving us second chances. More than one chance, more than 2 chances, more than 3, more than 4, more than 5. Because God only knows, spirit source, how many times we have incarnated. I don't think we can fully grasp reincarnation within our lifetime ever. It is too complicated. And now there's actually science backing it up, which I think is amazing. That's what kind of got me. The science of reincarnation. It backed up my beliefs. It validated basically everything that I thought was fake. It totally twisted and turned it around, and it validated that it was actually, something went off, and I was like, oh, Jesus, God. Reincarnation's real. Very real. So the people that, like, I don't want to say terrorists. So, like, the bad people, the people that kill, the people that are, blowing other people up. I don't think, and then people are like, people ask, well, where's God? Why is God not, coming down and, making everything better? Free will. Free will. That is one thing that Source, Spirit, or God, whatever you want to call it, will not interfere with, is free will. That is why everything happens the way it happens. That is why we have all of this catastrophe going on. That is why everything is terrible. Free will. So it's us. It's our fault. So when people say, well, God is not answering my prayers, free will. You have free will. So if you're asking, God, Spirit, Source, for something that is incredibly, outrageously like life-changing, to where it's going to influence somebody else, or it's going to influence you and change you without your knowing. No. Spirit source does not interfere with free will. So that is why, if we were to take everybody out of, say, Haiti, everybody there, they live in poverty, they live poorly, but they're happy. They are the happiest people. They are not rich by any means, and they are the most happiest, fun, loving people. So if you were to take those people out of their situation, they have been conditioned so much to the violence and the natural disasters and the hurricanes and the killings and all of that. If you were to take those people out of their situations, like if you were to take Hitler out of his situation, they would go insane. They would not be able to function. That is just how that works. That is human psychology. They don't know any other way. So how are they going to, if God was to come down and, take away all these bad people, we would have no purpose left. We would have nothing to learn. Everything would be over. So there's just free will. That's free will. And then taking people out of, their culture, literally their culture. If you were to take the people from these crazy groups that go and kill in the name of Source or God, that is what they believe. That is what is ingrained in them, their brains. So if you take them out of that situation, they would go insane. They would go completely insane and not know what to do anymore. So if everything was perfect, we would kill each other, because we would not have any room to grow. We would have no room for spiritual enlightenment. We wouldn't have free will anymore, because we would naturally, we would be forced to be completely happy all the time. So that is, I could go on forever. Jesus. So yeah, I do believe in reincarnation. Can't prove it. I don't plan to try to prove it. I don't care if you believe me or disagree with me or agree with me. That's just my personal belief on reincarnation. So yeah, for my grandma, she had to learn. She had to learn how to become a guide. She, in the book, she talks about reincarnation. And, not everybody does incarnate again. Not everybody does incarnate again. So, which is very crazy. It's a very, very heavy topic. It's very heavy and it's a very long topic. So to kind of just understand it, it's hard. It's hard to try to understand it. In my head it makes sense. Trying to get it out in words, no. But yeah, I do believe, definitely, that we do come back. I don't believe that we come back as trees. I don't believe that we come back as animals, or stones, or rocks, or strange odd things like that. But I do believe we come back as, humans, again. Animals, I don't know if they come back or not. I don't know. I wouldn't see why not. I would not see why not. My grandma says to spell dog backwards, which says God. So I'm still trying to wrap my head around that one. But I don't know. It's hard. It's very hard to explain reincarnation. That is what I believe. Truly, honestly, with all of my being, I do believe that we incarnate over and over and over and over and over until we learn our lessons. And then we become happy within our own heavenly dimension or hell dimension, whichever you choose. If that makes sense. So I think it's it's a touchy topic. A very touchy topic. So for instance, if you're having, my jobs, all of my jobs, I've been fired. due to medical reasons. So, I came into this life with medical issues. So, this is my time, this life, to figure out why. To figure out how to better myself. To figure out how to spread more love and compassion and kindness to the world. Being selfless. So I honestly think it's a good thing that we get so many chances. Everybody says that we get saved again. No, you get saved a lot more than just once. Over and over and over and over. Saved. I use that word very lightly. So I don't know how the process works. I have an idea. That's my idea. I'm going to stick to it. The spirit, Allan Kardec. That is the entire Spiritist Network, which is a network on here. You guys might notice some of my quotes are very Spiritism, within the context of Spiritism, modern day Spiritism. That is what I like. So it just makes a lot of sense. It does. And who knows, who comes back as who, I've got a lot of spirits that tell me. I channeled for one of my very dear, good brothers the other night. I told you guys yesterday, I think it was, that my arms turned into somebody else's arms. It was that of his friend. He told me that he was in review. He was reviewing everything that he had done wrong in his life. But he was happy. He was still happy. He still had that. He still had his personality. A bit of it. But he also informed me that he would be coming back. But to inform my friend, my brother, my spiritual brother, to let him know that, I will not be coming back as I was, so you might not know me. So that's the sad thing. So I guess we can look for these people, but I think it's going to be very, very hard. I mean, there are very crazy scientific explanations. Science is really catching up with reincarnation and showing, it's just repeating. Everything repeats itself. History repeats itself. So, obviously I haven't learned in any life. Relationships. I choose the worst men in the world. They all are. You know how they say, when a girl gets married, she marries someone similar to her father. Every man that I've ever dated is very similar to my own father, my dad. Drinking. The drinking part. So, that would tell me something about my past life. And luckily, I overcame my drinking. I don't drink, period. I don't have any desire to drink. I mean, sometimes, sure, I would love to have a buzz. Sure, I would love to take a Vicodin and feel good. But I don't have the desire. I don't have that burning desire to do that anymore. I care too much about my body, my insides, as I hold a cigarette. I care too much about my body, about the people around me. What if I take a pill? I don't have control over what is going to happen to me when I take Vicodin. I get very happy. And I don't know how it's going to affect anybody around me. I'm not going to see it. I'm going to feel good. People around me are going to notice, well, you look high. Of course I do, because I am, if you do take the Vicodin, or if I were to, which I would not. I don't have any desire for pain pills at all anymore. I have a champagne taste on a beer budget. So that is, what I would think of, a past life. I had a drinking problem. Okay. I came into this life. Wasn't drunk. Obviously. My mother only ate fruits and vegetables when she was pregnant with me. I'm a vegetarian. Why would I be a vegetarian in this life? What in my past life made it to where I did not want to eat meat in this life? So it's very cool. It's very cool. Everything in your life, take into consideration. The people you're attracted to, the music that you listen to, everything that you're attracted to, your hair, everything, tattoos, birthmarks, all of that. It's just so incredibly amazing to really delve into that. It's mind-boggling, and it will drive you crazy if you try to figure it out. So don't try to figure it out. Just go with the flow. So yeah, one accomplishment from one past life is drinking. I don't drink anymore. I don't really desire to. I think it's fucking stupid. In excess, it's completely stupid. You're drunk. You're not seeing clearly. You're clouded. Pot, I have a completely different view on. It's part of my creative process. I don't overindulge. I would never overindulge. Then again, it's not a good thing. It just, nothing vibes with me anymore. I've done my fair share of my drugs way back when, and I've overcome them in this life. I think it's awesome. So that was one example. One thing I've learned in my past life, I obviously had a drinking problem and a drug problem that led over into this life. Crap, is it windy? I overcame that. I'm only 31, so who's to say, I'm not going to go out and I'm not going to get plastered in a week. I say that, I know that, because it's not going to happen. But then again, I have free will. So, if I let my guards down, and I let an oppressing or, obsessing spirit, which would be the spirit of drinking, I don't know what that's called. I know Spiritism has a name for all of this. So if you guys want, you guys can actually Google the Gospel according to Spiritism, which is incredible. It gives you a better outlook over everything. God doesn't care if you're smoking a cigarette, It's all trivial. They're just very easy things to target. Cigarettes, alcohol, drugs, all very easy things to target, so that's what I say. That's what I think. But if you guys really, really, really want to get into the Spiritism, reincarnation within the Spiritism context, check out Spiritism Network. Right here on YouTube. Amazing information, amazing people. They're just incredible. And it's really an alchemical process I see too. I see my life as a timeline. And then here I am, boom, right here. All my past lives. So everything's happening all at once. So why couldn't I delve into a different past life and see, okay. So I overcame the drinking problem, the drug problem. Now what? Why am I still single? Why am I still smoking? This is stuff like that. Eating habits, all of that. I just take everything into consideration. It is so cool. It is so cool. Just take that all into consideration and just connect the dots. You can connect the dots literally. And there are so many amazing stories out there of children that tell their parents these wild stories of they were generals and they were so and so. They were this president that they know this top secret information about so-and-so president, so-and-so person that they said they were in a past life. It's very cool. It's astonishing to actually see that. see kids say, well, I was so-and-so in my past life. Don't call me by this name now. Call me by... And it's kind of creepy. I wish I could go back to being very little again and reliving that and seeing everything that happened and just focusing and really, grasping the concept of reincarnation. But what kid can grasp the concept of reincarnation? No kid. Unless they're a prodigy genius. I just think it's crazy. It's very, very crazy. I don't know. It's very cool though. Very cool. A very, very fun topic to delve into. It gets to be quite psychotic. So, for instance, let me give you a for instance. No, I'm kidding. So, for instance, my grandma, she took her life. What in a previous life? I can't connect anything because I've lost a lot of small, fine detail. Sadly, that makes me very sad. So it's crazy. It's a very crazy process. Like my own dad is always complaining why is this happening to me? Why is this happening to me? Why is this happening to me? Always saying, his way is the only way and the right way. The whole world thinks just the way he does. What in a past life would make you think, it's more like an authority, alpha male figure. I'm going to dominate you and you're going to believe my way and that, or it's nothing. So it's just people back that time frame, 1962. I don't know how to explain it. I can't explain it. Some people are just so set in their ways that they can't change. But you can, we teach an old dog new tricks. It's not out of the question at all. So yes, I do believe in reincarnation, everybody. And my mind has not changed. And it will not change. Well, it could. I'm not ruling out the possibility of it changing, because it could. It very well could. I could wake up tomorrow and say, hey, I don't want to do any of this anymore. I highly doubt that will happen, because this is my passion. This is my work, my life. So, that's just my personal opinion. But it's very, very cool to look at everything within your life and to see the reoccurring patterns and everything, and then kind of connect them with a past life, and then work on yourself alchemically to better yourself, to keep bettering yourself, to keep learning, and to get through these trials and tribulations. So I do think Source, Spirit, God, gives you many, many, many chances. And I think it's very cool. I think it's very, I don't know what the word I'm looking for is. I think it's very nice. So thanks, Source, for giving us that opportunity to learn over and over and over until we get it right. Luckily, we, fully don't remember everything, because that would be just a total... I wouldn't want to remember all of my past lives, because I'm pretty sure some of them are pretty horrific. So I don't know. I just take into consideration like fears. What do I fear in this life? My fear is Jaws. I fear Jaws like no tomorrow. That's really my only fear. I don't have a fear of death. If I die tomorrow, I don't care. I know, I'll come back, or, if not, you guys know how to reach me. But I'm not going anywhere, so, well, hopefully, God, source willing. But yeah, I just think it's a continual process of growth, alchemical growth. You're mining yourself like coal. That's our purpose in life. It's to mine ourselves like coal and find the gold. Your silver, your golden thread. And then I think once you reach a certain point in your life, you stop incarnating. And like my grandma, she became a guide. She went to school on the other side. Literally. She was schooled to be a guide. She was being taught. It's crazy. And then I think about the babies that, are aborted. They never had a chance. So, I kind of think that they do come back. I do. I honestly think that they do. I do support abortion. I don't support murder. So, it's the woman's choice, obviously. The woman carries the baby. It's all up to the woman, I think. So, I don't think you're going to be punished for it. I think that could be a negative repercussion. I think, everything comes back. We all experience everything that we've done negative right now. So everything that you are experiencing, all the negative, is because of yourself. Everything I experience that is negative is because of me, not an outside source. Just like somebody on my channel commented on the Ouija. Well, Baltimore, Maryland was the start of all of this. And I asked them what, and they said the start of all the chaos and, the craziness and the protests and America, pretty much going to hell. No. That's called scapegoating. That's called not taking responsibility for your own actions. Free will. No, it's not because of the Ouija. And the Ouija did not start in Baltimore, Maryland. The Ouija started in Europe, but it was not called Ouija. Ouija started in Baltimore, Maryland, here. So, and it was originally, 1863? Was it? When, Parker Brothers? No. I'm getting my Ouija history mixed up. So yeah, I don't know. But yeah, don't blame the Ouija for what happened in Baltimore. That's scapegoating. You can't take responsibility for your own actions, so you have to blame an outside source. So I think those kind of people will come back over and over and over and learn. They have to keep going over and over because that's not the right way of thinking. That's an outdated and old way of thinking that does not fit within our culture anymore. It's very easy to blame an outside source, yes. I used to. I did. I used to say, well, I'm getting sick because of what I'm doing. No. I'm getting sick because of what I do to my body. I'm getting sick because I didn't get the proper nutrition, sleep, all of that. Now I do. Now I'm happy. I feel great. Amazing every day. So I can't contribute anything negative to my Ouijas, or outside forces, like the devil, because it's just silly. It's a silly belief. It's childish. It's very childish, and it's not taking responsibility for your own actions. So I think everybody will learn that, and I can't wait for people to actually have to come back and learn over and over and over. So I guess it's up to us right now, to choose. Are we going to learn and grow in this life? Or are we going to have to repeat everything all over again for all of our stupid human errors? Not stupid, but everything is, a learning block, stepping stone. So, I don't know. Why do people come back and why are they all bitter towards the world? It's just people are so conditioned to being in such a hellacious environment. Once they experience peace, they don't like it. they get addicted to negativity, and then they want negativity. So they have to muster and get something, go somewhere with it. They have got to keep that continuous cycle of negativity in their life, or they'll fall apart. People will fall apart if they don't have the negativity. And that's also where balance comes in. Duality within nature. Good, evil, positive, negative, whatever you want to call it. So, alright, I think I've talked enough about reincarnation. So yes, I do believe. I do. I like the idea that we can come back and we can grow and we can learn. And I do feel people, we attract these people from our previous lives into this life. So we may not know it, but I do think, there are quite a few people that I have attracted in my life that I do feel have come from previous lives. And I can almost guarantee you they did. So, I don't know, it's very, very complicated. A very, very complicated topic. Very touchy subject. God forbid, you don't want to offend anybody because somebody's going to say, well, that's not how I believe. You offended me. Well, I'm so sorry. Why are you offended? What is it that offends you? The idea of taking responsibility for your own actions? Is that what offends you? You don't want to have to take responsibility? You want to put blame on something else, like the devil? It's crazy. It's very crazy. So, I think that's it. That's totally it for today. I think I might do part 2. If you guys want. If you guys want, I will do a part 2 for the reincarnation, because I have so many more ideas going on in my head that I have to write down. But I have to clean today, so. And then last night, I'm gonna end off with one thing. Last night, I went to clean my grandfather's house. Oh, I do have a date, by the way. He's 77, 78. He's got the same color hair as I do. He's about my height. A little pudgy. Very handsome man. Reminds me of Robert De Niro just a tiny bit. I like to call him Grandpa. Yeah, we're gonna go see Ouija together. So, grandparents, keep them close. Keep them close. And parents, all of them. Keep your family close. Family is the colony. If there is not peace within the family, then blah. Everything collapses. Like the tower from tarot. But I was cleaning, and I don't hallucinate, obviously. Some of you know this story. I'll tell it really quick. Okay, so a relative of mine was given a new inhaler. Did you guys know that inhalers can make you hallucinate? Okay, the person's been hallucinating for over 2 weeks now. Called me, 4:30 in the morning, a.m. I call him Pampaw, just like I called Ganny, not Grandma. It's Grandma, or it's Pampaw and Ganny, not Ganny, or not Grandma and Grandpa. Never, I hate those words, Grandma and Grandpa. So do they. He hallucinated. The said person hallucinated that my grandpa died. So, really believed it. Obviously, he did not die. But yeah, the hallucinations were crazy, so that's just that short story. I go to clean his house yesterday. The rocking chair moved, started to rock by itself. I knew I felt my grandma there, just for a split second. But then she came to me last night, she told me, no, that's not her. That is an imprint in time. That is energy that has stuck. So, it's a pattern of hers that has repeated itself, that is being shown to us, to the people that actually are open to it. So, she is showing what she did in life, which rocking chairs. She rocked all the time in a rocking chair. So, yeah, I just think it's very cool. So, really cool story. Very good time. Very good time just spending with my grandpa. Loved it. Sat down, lit a cigarette, and then I asked him if I could have a cigarette. He said, we don't smoke in here. I said, oh, well, I'm going to have a cigarette with you. And he doesn't smoke, so, yeah. He's a good guy. He really is. Really good guy. But, oh, I don't know, guys. I don't know. I'll have to do a part 2 because this is getting very long. So, alright, guys. That's my view on reincarnation. So, yeah, what do you guys think? What do you guys all think about reincarnation? So, alright. I'll see you guys all tomorrow. Hopefully with part 2, if you guys want. So, I love you all very, very, very much. And I give you all my love. And, oh, I did create the event for the full moon. So, I will post it on Google+, and then I'll put it on the comment channel if I can maneuver around YouTube. So, alright guys. I hope you enjoy. That's very confusing. It's very hard to articulate what I'm thinking about reincarnation. And it's gonna storm. So, I love you all very much. And everybody, have a great day. And I love you all.